Everyone wants to hit financial freedom, but everyone is doing it the wrong way. And let me let you into a little secret. It's not about getting rich fast. It's way more than that. And now I know you heard so many people tell you this is how you hit financial freedom. A lot of it is bullshit. Let me tell you the most reliable path that you need to do in order to reach financial freedom. The first thing you need to do is track your money like a business, because you are one. I remember I used to always say I was bad with money, but then at the same time, I wasn't tracking it. How are you going to be able to start investing and saving and managing money if you have no idea where your cash is going? If a business had no idea where the money was going, they would go bankrupt. So why do we live that way? I know it's boring and I know it's tedious and you want to skip this step. I did as well. But you really need to sit down and track exactly what's going on in your financial world. Where's your money going? Listen, you can get a spreadsheet, you can write it down, you could look at your bank statement. There's so many options you could choose to track exactly where your spending is going. And if you have any leaks within your budget, you need to fix it. And I warn you, don't skip this step. This step right here is extremely crucial. I want you guys to get out of that mentality of thinking everything is going to work out. It's not. You need to take this first step serious in order for you to move on to the next step. The second step is to eliminate silent thieves, not just debt. Now, we all know this, right? Credit card debt is by far one of the most toxic debt to have. It doesn't mean you can't use credit cards. You just need to use it responsibly and make sure you don't carry a balance. But what a lot of people don't talk about are the silent thieves, which is the subscriptions that you have that you didn't even know you had, which is the delivery fees for using DoorDash and Uber Eats and all those food services. Whether it's the inflated cell phone bill you have or the car insurance, all of that needs to be investigated. Because every dollar you waste is just destroying your future. Your chances of hitting financial freedom is not going to be possible if you do not remove these silent thieves. So as you see, the first two steps, I did not mention anything about getting a side hustle or increasing your income. You can fix these financial problems right now simply by just tracking your spending and remove these ridiculous subscriptions and fees that you're getting in your bank account. So now that we're looking into our budget and seeing what our leaks are, you need to start thinking differently when it comes to purchases. You need to buy time rather than things. I used to find extreme satisfaction in going shopping and buying things, but I've noticed that gives me a little instant dopamine hit at that moment, but in the long haul, it delayed me to hitting financial freedom. And I was a spender and I was far from a saver. But as soon as I started looking at an emergency fund, not as a punishment or delaying myself to buy things I want in life, but to looking at that as my path to financial freedom would be a lot closer, then my whole mentality had changed. So what I did on my Ally account was I changed the name of my emergency fund to my financial freedom fund. Because 6 months of expenses in that fund could allow me to walk away from a toxic job. That's the number one reason why I want financial freedom, because I want time freedom. And working in a toxic company strictly because you just have to pay bills and you have no other option is a life I did not want to live anymore. So when you go online and you're getting hit with a whole bunch of ads, and before you start making any big purchases, ask yourself, is this getting me closer to financial freedom, or is this going to hold me back? Always ask yourself that question. It will help you tremendously. And if you do a lot of online shopping, usually what I do is I follow a 24-hour rule. I put what I want in the cart, leave it there at least for a full day, go back online, and if I really need it, I will buy it. But the majority of the times, I'm removing stuff. Because listen, I want to hit financial freedom, okay? I care more about having time than things. Now, the fourth thing you need to do is to invest automatically, because emotions cost you a lot of money. If you wait to feel ready to start investing, you will never do it. That's why it's critical for you to automatically transfer, I don't care right now if it's $10, into an investment account to build the habit of investments. If you have a job, great. The 401k could come directly from your payroll. So automate as much as possible. But I would warn you, start with the lowest amount. Do not make this big drastic change in your finances, because if you do that, there's a good possibility you will dip into your retirement account, or you will dip into your investments or your emergency fund to cover all these expenses you have coming up now. That's why it's highly crucial to do step 1 and 2 to make sure that your financial foundation is solid and there will not be any surprises that catch you off guard. And you hear so many people tell you why it's so critical to have automatic investing, because your emotions will sabotage everything that you're doing, but it can't do that if you can't see it. Now, to build financial freedom reliably, this is the fifth thing you need to do. You need to worry about building skills, before side hustles. This is where so many people mess up, and I was one of them. The first thing I wanted to do was to boost my income. I did Uber Eats, DoorDash, I did all these things on the side, but I learned something very quickly. What I'm doing is I'm working for someone else, and I am not building any skills at all. Everything changed for me once I started reading more, especially a lot of like self-help books or listening to a lot of podcasts as well. What I started doing was learning how to sell, learning how to market, learning how to use AI. Those skills helped me do YouTube videos and educate people financially. But also what it did was it made me a better employee at work. And I am not going to lie, this one is really, really difficult because all over social media, all over YouTube, everywhere, people tell you these are the best side hustles. Everyone talks about side hustles, side hustles, side hustles. But when it comes to educating people on the basics, a lot of times people look at that and they poo-poo it. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you wanna build wealth, you have to have the skills. The latest trend that's going on, you need to learn it. Not master it, at least understand it and learn it. That way you can put that in your toolbox to allow you to build more wealth in order for you to start investing and get you on the path of hitting financial freedom. And once you start learning all these skills, that's when you can start a side hustle. Because now you're turning your effort into equity. You'll make so much money if you focus on building skills. Now, while you're doing all of that, this is something that you certainly need to practice. This is the sixth thing, which is to stay broke and poor on purpose. Now, one of the fastest ways to get rich is to act broke. Whenever you get a raise and you're getting a bonus or you're making all this money from your side hustle, if you keep your lifestyle the same, that will get you to the path of financial freedom a lot faster. It's basic math. If you keep on increasing your expenses along with your pay, you will never hit financial freedom because now it's a moving target. Maybe you need now just 1.5 million, but if you're increasing your lifestyle, then maybe you might need 3 million. That would be a moving target. You want to know your number and you do not want to increase your lifestyle. It's very difficult during these times. I get it. People want to upgrade their car and the house because you're getting all this extra money, but you need to maintain a lifestyle that you always had. Because if you maintain your lifestyle and you start increasing your income, now you can hit financial freedom a whole lot faster because all that money you're making that's extra is now going into investments, and the investments is going to get you there a whole lot quicker than just spending money on dumb shit. Let me tell you a little secret about once I made that change of spending on dumb shit to trying to hit financial freedom. You always are going to feel broke. When you're saving and you're investing, you will feel broke because at the end of the month, you're like, I don't have any money. Why? Because all your money is working. But there's a big difference between knowing you're investing and you're saving compared to you're not saving, you're not investing, and you have no money left at all. So that feeling of being broke is never going to go away. That's a lifestyle choice, and that's a choice that you really want to have. So there it is, guys. That's the path to hitting financial freedom reliably, because you need to understand financial freedom is not about dollars. It's about waking up knowing you do not need to live paycheck to paycheck in order for you to survive, or you do not need to work a 9 to 5. You can simply just live off of your investments. There's nothing exotic and sexy. Really, building wealth comes from building boring ass habits. If you're really serious about hitting financial freedom, in my bio, my description, I have a template you could grab that will help you get on the path to hitting financial freedom, and most importantly, help you with financial literacy. And if you like this content, guys, please hit the like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Catch you all on my next video. Peace.